Alright, so this is a brake booster replacement, master cylinder and booster. First thing you do is, I took off this hose just so I wouldn't forget to do that. Then come in here, cut the insulation right there so I could just pull all this down, shove it underneath the mat right there so I can see better. So it's super simple. There's just like 4 bolts here, and then you gotta disconnect your brake pedal and remove. There's a harness up in here. Let's see if I can. I already took it off, but right here, that's your brake booster rod, or your, brake pedal, harness, and all that. It's just on that little pin right there. Probably the hardest thing about it is getting this little sucker, this clip, off. And so what I had done, and I don't remember seeing too much on YouTube about this, is I took just like a small screwdriver and went in to this side like that and pried it underneath the pin like that, you know. You guys are saying that you can use a pick set, but I don't have one of those. I just have screwdrivers. And so I ended up using this other long skinny screwdriver. See how skinny that is? And I just worked it. So I pried this under here, and I just worked it. I reached in through right here, and I put it in between here and force this open. Force this open like that while prying a little bit, and just worked it loose. You can see the amount of work I did on it, but it took like 4 minutes. So then I'm about to just loosen these 4 up right here, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so one thing I do highly recommend getting is for these bolts up here. You know, they're a pain in the ass. Getting a ratchet in there, you probably have like a click or 2, you know, of turn. Let me see if I can show you real quick. I mean, if you're doing it, you'll figure it out soon enough that, you know, there's not a whole lot of room in there for a ratchet. Especially, I mean, these bottom 2 right here, these 2, they're not too terrible, but once you get up to that one and that one way up, see if it'll focus, way up there, you know, you don't got much. Let's see if I can hook it onto there. Alright, so that one's on the top. And you know, that's all you got. Them long threads will take a while. So, and if you're gonna get one of these specifically for this job, you know, these are great. I've had this, I got this not too long ago, but if you're gonna get one of these, I highly recommend getting the extended one. It's a little too clunky up there, but it just makes it so much easier. I don't know why. I've done this before with a regular ratchet, and I don't know why I wasted so much time, but it just makes it so much easier. I'll show you in a minute. Now watch. I got it way up there. Just does the work for you. You know, I don't know why you wouldn't get one of those. These are great. These are awesome. All right, so now that you got those 4 bolts out, this is sitting kind of loose. Take your cap off. I'm using a turkey baster because that siphon I had broke. But you can use those transfer pumps from Harbor Freight, little tube, something. You could just stick one of these oil absorbing, well, I call them diapers, pads, whatever you want to call them. And remove all this unless you want to make a huge mess when you unbolt these. Forgot to mention that the bolts inside these 4, they're 5/8. Yeah, 5/8. And these ones are 9/16. I thought they might have been metric, but they're all standard. I was wrong. So yeah, you just go ahead and start getting all this crap out of here. All right, so if yours are like mine and they're just bolted in there to Kingdom Come, I'm gonna go get you a propane torch, heat the sucker up high as it can get you a 9/16 flare, put it on there. I can't even get mine on anymore because I just did some work on them. I'll do that old trick and just it'll break. All right, so once you get those brake lines removed, you should just be able to pull right out. This part right here is hooked on to this harness here. So that's about the only thing it should snag on. You have to use a pry bar to get all those bolts fully out of the firewall there. Going ahead, just be careful what you're prying against. Take these nuts off, they're 15s. Reuse this bracket. I'm probably gonna clean it up and repaint it just so it looks nice. And then we'll start installing it. Okay, so mine came with the master cylinder on the booster. But of course you have to take it off to get that bracket on there. A lot of people put the new body style master cylinder on the booster. I hear it's a great upgrade. I'm not doing it because mine just came with the master cylinder, and the new body style master cylinder is like $80, and I'll just replace it whenever. And I don't have time to wait for it to come in. So anyways, get it backed up in there. I have the new bracket painted and drying right now, so I have it off, and plus it's easier just to get the booster in without the master cylinder hanging on there. So yeah, once you get your 4 bolts back on there, I'm gonna use that Milwaukee again to get them all the way down and then torque them down, and then we'll be moving on to reconnecting the brake pedal and see how it goes with that tab. All right, so once you got all these torqued down, that one's a little difficult up there to torque down because it's got a little lip right there on the left. You see, it makes it difficult to get a wrench in there, and unless you have a super nice wrench, socket wrench, then you don't have enough clicks to, or 6-point. You can use a 6-point. I didn't have or not a 6-point, a 12-point. I didn't have a 12-point, so I couldn't get much in there to torque it down, so I had to use a wrench, and that lip made it difficult to torque it down. But anyways, next step is right up here in there. See if it'll focus. There's the booster, the brass thing right there. That's gonna go on your brake pedal right there on the right, that black piece. And then you'll put the harness on, that plastic harness back on after that, and then that pin. All right, I had to do a little bit of prying, but it wasn't too bad getting it on there. And then you just snap this on there like that, and then we'll get that pin. All right, I had to work it with two screwdrivers again to get it back on there, but basically you just have to spread this collar right here out a little bit so it fits over the head of this pin, and then just kind of push down with the screwdriver I have here in my right hand and another one from the point of view that this camera's coming from. You just gotta work it a little bit and it'll get back on there. And then go ahead and just throw this insulation back up there, and then you should be good. All right, so now you gotta put the master cylinder back on there. And then put this bracket on there. Hook it onto that harness first. That'll be a little bit easier. And then there you go. Put your bolts back on. I'm sure these have to be torqued to something, but you know, do what you feel like. Get this hose back on there. You know what? I'm probably gonna replace that clamp. Never mind. Yeah, just get your brake lines screwed back in. I probably should replace mine, but again, I'll have time to wait for that to come in. And then we'll bleed them, fill it up, bleed it, it'll be straight. Okay, so I got everything bled out. Fluid looks pretty good. I will say, if you're gonna do the master cylinder swap, I think the one thing you need is an adapter fitting from like Home Depot or whatever for this front brake line right here. And then if you guys ever need anything else, any help or anything, it's a great forum called gmt400.com. It's a website. You can also join the Facebook group. Those guys are really helpful. They've helped me out with a lot of things. And so yeah, good luck.